Hey yo, what up people? Finally super pumped to be back and doing another video, and this time live from nowhere else than Brandenburg or something like that, which is in the middle of Berlin. Good old Berlin. Haven't been here for fucking ages, and I'm just here around in this nice historic monumental place. As you can see, there's a bunch of old buildings around me. I have no clue what they represent or what they mean. But anyway, so what I wanted to quickly catch up on is this very important, very interesting thing, which is so critical for achieving any type of success, whether in business or anywhere else, and that is the relationship to practice. The relationship to practice, the relationship to practicing, rehearsal, preparation, the dirty work that you put in order to be a high performer. And what is astonishing is really that so many people go through their careers and lives without actually comprehending fully the crystal clear relationship between practice and preparation and rehearsal versus the actual results that you get from putting all of this work in. There is a direct correlation. It's a one-to-one correlation, and it's so astonishing that many people just get caught up in kind of thinking that there's all these elements like opportunity, luck, knowing the right people, the background in which you're born, things like that, that are the important and a talent. You have to have talent and things like that, which seemingly for people seem to be like the preconditions for success and results. And that is just so wrong. All of those kind of additional components are important, but they're nowhere near as critical as practice. Practice, man. There's this video by this press conference by Allen Iverson, a super legendary NBA player, and it was there, and he was talking about practice. So practice, rehearsal, preparation is really the one component that you can control. I think super guy Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about this, right? The kind of element, the hustle, the practice is the one element you can really control in your road to success, and that's absolutely true. And so I was very fortunate very early on. Sorry about the background noise. I'm in some kind of a very narrow street here, but looks very good. So I was super fortunate, in my early kind of, I was like 10, 11, 12, something like that, 13, back in primary school, to really see and understand and vividly kind of, comprehend the relationship between putting the practice and preparation work in and getting the results. And I got that, message and experience very early on as I was trying to get into a top school in Latvia. And so, I was just an average person, no special kind of background or knowledge or intelligence, just completely average, normal, right? And I had this ambition and determination to get into this super amazing school that I was very passionate about, and so for about a year, literally 12 months of the academic year, I was practicing the test, the admittance test that I had to pass in order to get into the school, and I was working every fucking day. I'm not exaggerating, every fucking day, studying until late night. Let me just pass through this shit because this is super loud, unfortunately. While I'm doing that, you can check out the architecture of the great Berlin. A lot of heritage in these streets, as I can see. I definitely didn't choose the best fucking place to go, but anyway, so yeah, and so I was there practicing, preparing, rehearsing, to the extent that this big maths test that I had to pass in order to get into this school, you know, they would make public the historic, you know, previous year's mathematics tests that I could kind of practice on and use. And interestingly, I eventually ended up just learning by heart about 10 years worth of you know, mathematics tests. I just fucking, you know, pushed them in my brain. And so eventually, when it got to a point where I had to perform and pass the maths test, I just basically did it with my eyes closed, yeah, because I had so fucking put so much work and hours into practice. And that gave me a clear sense that, you know, if I put the practice in, I get the result, right? And the more I do it, the more it gives me a sense of confidence that that is, you know, something that works for me. And over time, I have out-practiced, out-rehearsed, you know, out-prepared every single person that I know, without a fucking exception, in any area that I choose to kind of, you know, focus on. Without an exception, I have out-practiced everyone, yeah, everyone. And this is totally controllable, totally dependent on me and my, you know, attitude and my choice to do so. So, you know, that's kind of very important to realize. Fuck, where am I gonna go next? Shit, let's try this one. There's tons of people. And so it's interesting that if you think about how our modern day culture looks at practice, preparation, and rehearsal, it's very negative. It starts from your first grade in primary school, when everyone that is perceived as kind of easygoing, cool, relaxed, fun, right, at school, as opposed to hardworking and studying and whatever, they're the cool people, right? Working hard and practicing, preparing, rehearsing is not perceived as cool, and that is kind of like drilled into us for 10, 12 years over the whole period of going through school system. And so, you know, and that's where kind of people get lost. So I suggest to totally, you know, forget about looking cool, effortless, or whatever it is, and just fucking practice over and over again. Hours and hours of work, hours and hours, and year over year practice and preparation and rehearsal, and eventually massive results and success will catch up. So that is my message, and I could go on and on about examples and instances where you know, I've, you know, both in business and before business, I have gotten to strong results through fucking practice. Stress, nervousness, fucking vomiting, you know, being afraid, full of doubt, worried, concerned, anxious, but still practicing my fucking you know, brain out, you know. So that's kind of super important. So let's not fucking get caught up in too much shit that really doesn't matter when it gets to you know, getting down to real results, because it's all about practice, rehearsal, preparation. I hope I repeated those three words enough times in this video that you really fucking understand that that's the most important thing. All right, so that's about it. I'm now going in circles in this amazing town of Berlin, but take it easy, folks, and I will catch you soon.